Family, what's up? Just another beautiful day, loving every minute of it. Now, this is the reason why you don't really like cops. This clip I'm gonna show you, it just goes to show how these cops should be held accountable for the bullshit they do towards black people. They do not do it against white people. They only fuck up black people. That's why it's a pity you can't say this, but it's a pity you can't do a lot of things because they have to hold accountable or being fired for what they do. They just harass black people for no apparent reason whatsoever. That's what we call the modern Ku Klux Klan, the modern KKK. That's all I can tell them is. That's all it is. It's the new KKK in uniform. Hang on, folks. There's some clips that really pisses me off. Hang on. This is America, a country. I am piggybacking off of him. I'm piggybacking off of him. Apparently because he didn't have his headlights on. There's absolutely no reason why a man needs to get out of his car for not having his headlights on. It's not a criminal offence. They could just issue him with a ticket and send him on his way. But instead, William McNeil Jr. got punched in the face, attacked by multiple police officers, and beaten up because these America, a country where they break the glass, punched in the face, apparently because he didn't have his headlights on. There's absolutely no reason why a man needs to get out of his car for not having his headlights on. It's not a criminal offence. They could just issue him with a ticket and send him on his way. But instead, William McNeil Jr. got punched in the face, attacked by multiple police officers, and beaten up because these fascist thugs think they can get away with it just because they're in a uniform. One of the things I find most worrying about this video is the number of people saying he should have just complied. He should have just done what he was told, when there was absolutely no reason for him to get out of the vehicle at all. I wish these people would speak to women who've escaped abusive relationships, because if you ask a woman who's escaped an abusive relationship what compliance does, she will tell you that all compliance does is feed the violence. It teaches the abuser that threats and intimidation and violence work. So they just do it again and again and again. In fascist societies, which America has become, you need to push back against fascism. You need to push back against violence and intimidation. Nelson Mandela said that he started fighting the battle for freedom on his first day in prison. He started campaigning for the right to wear long trousers when prisoners who were mixed race or Indian on Robben Island were allowed to wear long trousers. Black prisoners were expected to wear shorts. And he started that fight on the very first day in prison. With abusers, you need to set your boundaries early to stop the abuse getting out of hand. Because if you give in to these fascist cops, the fascism will just ramp up and ramp up and ramp up. We also need to think about this in the context of what's happening more broadly in America. People disappearing from the streets, women losing their rights, a president who's on a list of paedophiles and is now stopping that list from being published to protect himself. It is a country that is disintegrating, and violence will be the eventual outcome of that. More and more violence, like the violence you saw in that video, because people are no longer accountable for their actions. Power equals right in modern America, and that is the road to destruction. Yeah, absolutely. There's a reason why I'm pulling over. For one, implement whether you have your lights on. Two things, you don't wear your seatbelt. It's not running. So then implement. Okay, I'm not arguing with you. I'm telling you why I'm pulling you over. You need your driver's license, registration, or insurance. Excuse me? I was then asked for license and registration, to which McNeil replied, "No, call your supervisor," then closes his door. Ours then calls for backup, which arrives quickly, and he instructs McNeil several times to open the door or he would break the window to remove him. Now this is where McNeil's video from inside the car begins. We see him asking the backup officer, who is unidentified, what law he's breaking, and he requests once again to speak with a supervisor. He writes in his post, quote, "Things escalated quickly, as you can see." Bowers can then be seen shattering McNeil's window, striking him in the face as he tells him to exit the vehicle. McNeil raises his hand, says, "What is your reason, sir?" as he is forcibly removed. Bowers' body cam shows officers removing the seatbelt, forcing McNeil to the ground, and one using both hands on his head into the pavement. McNeil says he suffered a concussion, chipped tooth,
and several lip stitches. The Jacksonville Sheriff's Office denies any wrongdoing but says it is investigating this incident. Officer Bowers has been stripped of his duty as the investigation proceeds. Want to know why Black Americans still don't trust the police? Here's a great example. This is William McNeil Jr., pulled over in the daytime because his headlights weren't on in possibly inclement weather. He was calm, compliant. He even put his hands in the air. He asked why he was being stopped. He asked for a supervisor. He showed no threat to anyone whatsoever. He never resisted. Then, all of a sudden, they smashed his window. He didn't fight back. Still, he didn't run. He didn't resist. And then an officer who is not supposed to be above the law, what did he do? He threw a punk-ass punch. There was no reason for that punch. Then, sadly, 3 officers dragged him out and beat him while he was still, once again, not resisting. Look at that knockout punch. Watch it carefully. All that for headlights in the daytime. No resistance. And yes, he had every right to ask for a supervisor. We all do. And don't tell me this isn't about race, because it is. Had he been white, like me, do you honestly think that would have happened to him?
No.
You know the
No.
answer.
No.
Let's not fool each other. It wouldn't have. This is why Black Americans don't trust the police. It's not paranoia. It's what they have to live through. William McNeil got fists for using his voice to ensure his rights were protected. And what happened to the officers? Were they arrested? Were they charged? Nope and nope. Administrative leave, a paid Netflix marathon vacation for beating a man on camera. That's not justice, and justice isn't for just us. It's supposed to be for all of us. We're all supposed to have the same rights. But only one group keeps getting reminded that their rights end the moment a cop gets annoyed or his fragile ego or God complex is injured or questioned. Wusses with a badge. These pathetic excuses for cops need to be removed from the force, charged with assault, and jailed like the criminals they are for betraying public safety and the image of good, honest, hard-working cops who do follow the rules. Call this what
Where
it is.
are they?
Racism, protection, and unacceptable.
Where are the
for
honest
this
cops?
country. Thank you very much. Please like, comment, share, and follow.
I am piggybacking
Have a great day.
off of this guy right here.
William McNeil Jr. I would just like to apologize completely from all the white people out here to think that that was total fucking bullshit. And I don't care if I just cussed the first 30 seconds of this. That should be the least of anybody's concern. Are you going to actively hold somebody's hands behind their back, then hit them with a straight uppercut? Along with that, how are you going to put your hands on his face in general when he was not being aggressive at all and was literally just letting you ragdoll him around? To anybody that thinks that anything like that is okay, I firmly invite you to Florida and come fade me. And to every one of those cops out there that thinks that that was a proper use of force, I'm sorry it's been 6 years since you've seen your cock, but that's not my problem. If nobody knows what I'm talking about, I'm going to put a hashtag down in the bio so that you guys can go see the absolute bullshit that law enforcement thinks that they can take. I firmly believe in justice, and I firmly believe in people having a freedom of speech, and I firmly believe in having law enforcement as a presence of protection, but that was not protection. That was straight harassment and bullying. And if there's one thing in this world that I absolutely cannot stand, it's a fucking bully. So TikTok might take this down, it's fine. I'm going to save it before. That way I can repost it until it gets the correct traction, because if this has not been resolved, then it needs to be immediately. And there should be no question that every law enforcement officer in that interaction deserves to be fired and arrested for abuse of authority, assault and battery, domestic violence, and a hate crime. Because I firmly believe that was a targeted incident.
They smashed his window and then punched him in the face. Smashed his window and then punched him more than once in the face, and then ripped him out of the car. Because why? Because he wanted to speak to a supervisor. He calmly asked to speak to a supervisor after being pulled over for unknown reasons to him, and later being told that he didn't have his headlights on during bad weather. Got it. So the next time I hear any of you say, why don't they just comply? Why don't they just listen to the officers? He was. He did. And who cares if he didn't? They're clearly the criminals here, not him.
For real.
Have you guys seen the video of the guy that was arrested?
Okay, folks.
And they broke his window and they punched him in the face?
Okay.
I've seen both sides, so don't come for me, but there's another side, because there is...
The whole thing is right here. Look.
He told him he was picking him up for his headlights not being on during the day. You could see clearly. He said that it was raining. And he would have been like, absolutely not. And I probably would have gotten away with it. I wouldn't have gotten punched in the face, and I know that, and so do you.
Quick update about the video that I just posted about William McNeil Jr. from Florida being brutalized by the police officers. So, article just came out. No criminality was found. Did y'all watch the same video that I did? Because that was absolutely horrendous, outrageous. I don't care what kind of excuses or BS they're going to pull and try to say it was justified in any kind of way. It just wasn't. It was cruel, it was brutal, and it was not okay. Absolutely disgusting behavior. This is why we say defund the police. This is why there are so many people who protest against the police because of brutality like this, and it is consistently against minorities, and it is a real problem in this country that needs to be addressed. And the sooner we do that, the faster this country can turn around. It's one of the biggest problems in our society today, in my opinion.
Anthony McNeil, Jacksonville, Florida. Anthony McNeil, Jacksonville, Florida. It looked bad from his perspective, didn't it, guys? It did. That little cell phone clip that he edited, or however that got posted and went viral to all of us, that looked bad. It looked like the same old corrupt police doing the same old business. But that was not the case when that body cam footage came out. And I commend that sheriff for getting that stuff out within 24 hours. I mean, it was boom. Because it does justify what we saw. The only thing that is still a little questionable is after he broke that window, why did he administer that strike to the face? Now that we don't know, but they are saying something about a knife or something that he might have been reaching for.
Bullshit. Bullshit. Bullshit.
Whenever that officer administered that strike to the face, he gained compliance that fast. The guy was resisting the whole time.
I don't want to hear him more. I don't want to hear him no more because he's going to defend the policeman. He's going to defend the police, so I don't want to hear him no more. He's full of shit. He's full of shit. Nah, he's full of shit. That cop was justified cops because he's a cop. And he would do the same bullshit. Because see, what happens is that they always harass black people. They don't fuck white people at all. Only black people. So that shit got to stop. That shit, I mean, there's a lot I would like to say here, but you know what? It will get deleted. But you know. They got to stop. It really got to fucking stop because it's ridiculous. It's really, really ridiculous. Because they got a budge and the gun they figure to do what they like to black people, it got to come to a fucking stop. Eventually, it got to come to a stop, man, because it's really ridiculous. That means you can't leave the house unless you don't know if you come home safe or not, because them fucking white people think fucking modern day Ku Klux Klan. Peace out. Lots of love.